The community is hurting. Neighborhoods are hurting. The black community in particular is hurting. The police department is hurting. And so the city as a whole is hurting. It's hurting because someone in this community has died at the hands of someone else in this community, who, of course, is somebody wearing the uniform. And we want to make sure we are continuing to speak to each other and to speak to the public, even knowing that steps are underway in an investigation. In other words, we don't need an investigation to be complete to speak to one another and to the public as a whole about how important it is that we support one another and that we lift one another up. I also want to make sure, since there's still lots of information going around, some of it contradictory, that I state one more time what is happening in terms of the process for dealing with it. And the point of all of these processes is justice, fairness, and transparency. That means that all of the information that can be gathered for this investigation ought to come out. It will have to come out according to a process. But one of the reasons we're here is to send a message that that process doesn't have to be over for us to begin to work on two things. One is healing around this incident, and the second is working to ensure higher degree of trust between our law enforcement and our community. Toward healing, obviously part of that is tied up in the sense of transparency and fairness happening, but part of it is something we can do right now by expressing our love and support for all of those who are impacted, for a family that's lost one of their members, and for those impacted in the family of the police officer. But the other thing we can do is begin building now in the set of steps that will help make our community one that is as proud as we can be of how we handle relationships between the police department and the neighborhoods it serves. It's why we've already taken steps like updating the duty manual, trying to build a more diverse base of officers to be recruited, upping the standard and process for discipline, even the policy of body cameras itself. But we know there's more that needs to happen. And this is an acknowledgment that we are not there yet, and to make the public aware of the conversations that are taking place toward what we could do in the future, including but not limited to making sure that there is greater community input on the policies that decide how the police department does their job. Policies governing body cameras, policies governing the use of force, and perhaps policies on training and on bias.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.